Hi folks, welcome back to B Mills Farm. Today's video is going to be different for now, but will forever be the Sunday version of B Mills Farm. And that's going to be the Sunday Smoke Show. Now it's December 10th and it's 50 degrees and raining out, so it's just an absolute muddy mess out there. And my desire to go videotape me splashing around in mud is pretty low. So I just get chores done as fast as possible and move on with things. So I have my smoker here in my garage. This is just a crappy Oklahoma Joe's smoker. What this smoker did is just show me that I like smoking, but now I have to build my own pit and make something really nice. I have a big air tank and I'm going to build my own firebox. So a smoker build will be a part of this B Mills Farm YouTube channel. But for now, I just made some modifications to my existing smoker, which is, if you can see that stack, I put 4 more foot of pipe on the stack and it makes it pull a lot harder. This thing also leaks a lot, so I have some remedies to stop the leaks. I have some clamps and stuff I gotta put on. But for now, we will just be smoking some meat on this thing until I get my other pit built. And we'll be making some modifications along the way as well. So smoking meat is relevant to farming. You know, I farm for meat, so might as well show the end product. And who doesn't like good food? So I think this will be really fun. I think it's a good way to get through the winter time. My shop here is not heated, but this firebox will keep it bearable, I believe. So hopefully every Sunday we can put out a Sunday smoke show video, and we'll be making sausage from scratch, you know, grinding, stuffing, making our own sausage, curing meats, trying to make charcuterie. All this stuff really interests me, and I've dabbled in most of it. So it'll be really fun. Follow along and we'll get a fire going. So when you're smoking things on a smoker, you can get briquettes, lump charcoal, which is what this is, or you can use splits of like hickory or applewood, pecan, whatever. But for a pit like this, which probably somebody watching this video has something like this, the firebox is way too small first of all, it's too small and it's not very well insulated. It's very thin metal. So using just straight wood basically is kind of impossible with this setup. So the remedy for that is lump charcoal. This burns a lot longer than briquettes. It doesn't have any crappy fillers and all that stuff that is going to poison you and your family. So just straight 100% natural hardwood is the way to go. I also have some royal oak, which makes a really good product as well. For the smoked portion of this, you could just run this and put the meat in and it'll come out kind of smoky. But for this pit in particular, what I just use is these chunks. This is the Cowboy brand hickory. I have some applewood as well. But you just get a good hot fire going with the charcoal and then throw a couple of these in periodically. And your goal is to keep the smoke really clean. You don't want thick smoke coming out of the stack. So just play around with how many of these to put in. Now, a big misconception with smoking is to soak your wood or wood chips. Don't ever do that. It gives you dirty smoke and it'll make your meat really bitter. If you've ever had really bad barbecue, maybe it doesn't even seem bad to begin with, but barbecue that you're burping up for the next few days, a lot of that has to do with bad smoke. And although it could be tender and somewhat tasty, not really, but some people think it tastes good, smoke is a big part of smoking, obviously. So you want a nice clean fire, and I'll show you how to do that. This is the Royal Oak. This is also really good stuff. I think Lowe's carries all of these brands, probably nationwide. So if you're looking to get any of this stuff, most likely Lowe's will have it. So if you have one of these cheap pits, fire management is very difficult in them. So what I like to do, and over time you'll learn what works and what doesn't, but what I like to do is have my charcoal a little lighter on the back side and have it kind of build a slope up to this end. So when you start your fire here, it'll get good and hot and just slowly burn through the charcoal up in here. And of course you'll be adding on your wood chunks throughout it. But again, with these, they're not insulated, they're super thin. So if you light and burn all this at once, your chamber, your cook chamber will get 500 degrees pretty easily. And then it'll reach its peak and then start slowly going down. Then you'll just keep chasing it with charcoal. So you'll get, your chamber will be 250 degrees, then 500 degrees, then 250, then 500. And it's just a nightmare. So if you burn it from one end to the other, that seems to help. These gaskets here are falling off. They seem to help a little bit. I used to use a charcoal chimney to start all my charcoal, and sometimes I still will, but sometimes doing things the easier way is the better way. So I just got a little propane bottle here. I will light it, stick it in the side, and just let it burn for a while. Okay, so while that's going, I want to talk about my reason for going with selling pigs and, quite honestly, all my animals by the cut. Why I made that decision. There goes my charcoal. And the reason behind the cuts is, again, this processor. So we went yesterday and picked up a bunch of stuff, and last night we had some Philly cheesesteak bratwurst, which were amazing. So, let me get a sip of coffee here. So on to the marketing part of everything. If you have the ability to choose a processor that goes above and beyond and makes sausage links and bratwursts, and we bought bologna that they made at their facility from animals they raised, bologna. And so just for instance, we got some of these hot dogs. These are cheddar cheese hot dogs that they make that you can have your animal processed into. Now, this is just an example. This is deer meat, but this is how a lot of processors package their meat. This is $8.23. This you're going to sell for $6.50 maybe. Even if, let's say this was sausage and this was sausage, the exact same product, this will never ever be as valuable as this. Now, this costs more to have made, but you can charge a little more for it as well. So this versus this, if it was the exact same product, this will always be worth more. And I think that this really is the only path to making selling meat worthwhile. You get just added value stuff. Now they'll make specialty burger patties as well. These are jalapeno and American cheese beef patties. So again, this was $10.55 for a pound and a half. This is a pound. If these were both the exact same thing, this is worth more. Now, part of that value is just the simple fact that you can see it. Now, it sounds ridiculous, but if I'm going to a store, this is just me personally, and you said, hey, I got these two products, they're exactly the same price even, if you did the same price, which one are you going to buy? 100% of the time I'm buying this. So when I have cows sent to this place, I will have options like jalapeno cheddar burger patties already made. Now, personally, I like to make my own patties out of bulk beef because I think when you get into pre-made patties, it's overworked and it makes it kind of like meatloaf texture. So personally, I don't like that, but you have to appeal to the people that you're selling to. We're in a really fast-paced world where people don't have time. Quite honestly, they're just lazier. So they don't want to make patties out of bulk beef. They'd rather just spend more money and buy the patties already made, which that's perfect for me. Perfect for anybody that wants to go this route and get specialty items. Now, I think at a certain point you can get too carried away and just have way too many products and you're going to spend a ton of money. So you really have to break down the amount of products that you want to deal with and just give it trial runs and see what people like and don't like. So using that propane tank on the side is kind of a must for doing it this way because, well, you're starting your fire at this end. This is where the vent is. You can open and close that as much as you want, but if you look inside, you can see that on this side I have a fire. Over there the charcoal is untouched, so this fire will slowly burn that away, and I'll put a couple chunks on right now just to get the smoke rolling. And what I want to do is keep it around most things you're smoking, you want around 225 to 275. These burgers will cook pretty fast, but I want to bring it up 300, maybe a little above, because I want to try to smoke some deviled eggs. Well, cook some eggs in the shell on the smoker and make deviled eggs out of them and see how that works. I've seen people do it online, so we'll give it a go. Okay, so what I'm told is 2 hours at 225 to 275 and they will be fully cooked. So got some farm fresh cackleberries here and we'll put them on the smoker and come check them out in 2 hours. 1 dozen eggs on the smoker. We'll see you in 2 hours. Okay, so we have 10 more minutes till the eggs are done, and I figured, well, I'm going through all this work, I might as well throw some more meat on there. And I just so happen to have a big chunk of pork belly that was not cured, not smoked or nothing. It's just plain Jane raw pork belly, which for those that don't know, that's where bacon comes from. So it's just a big slab of pork belly, and I put some salt and pepper on it and threw it on the smoker. And my goal is to cook it like a brisket. Just cook it low and slow and then slice it like a brisket. and hopefully it'll be nice and fall apart tender. I'll show it to you when I pull the eggs off in 10 minutes. So we should have a nice smorgasbord tonight for dinner. My wife is in there making some homemade rolls for the burgers. It's going to be excellent. Okay, so it has been exactly 2 hours. I got a bowl of ice water for the eggs. I'm going to take the eggs off, and I'll show you the pork belly as well. So that's obviously the pork belly. The eggs are looking very interesting. Well, they're definitely hot. They got some stuff came out of them, I guess. I don't know. So we're back out a few hours later. The burgers are ready to go on. As you saw, I didn't talk at all in the video of making the patties because my wife was doing her thing and the dogs were running around, and I didn't want to have to make her stop or the dog stop. So I think a little music will be put into that spot, which hopefully is fine. But as you can see, I put some Colby Jack in the middle. I wanted to do American, but we apparently are low on American cheese. American, in my opinion, is the only cheese for a burger, so we'll save that for the top. But I put Colby Jack in the middle. They're 2 half-pound patties. Just salt and pepper. And the key to a good burger, in my opinion, is not to overwork it. So it just came straight out of the package and just start forming patties. The reason I don't like the pre-made burgers is because they're overworked. When they add like the jalapeno cheddar burgers, when they add all that, they grind it and then mix it in a big mixer, and it turns the texture more into like a meatloaf than a burger. So, which a lot of people prefer pre-made patties because, well, they don't have to do anything. They just throw them on the grill. For me, I like to form them. Now, the jury is still out whether I like smash patties or big, thick patties better. I really can't decide. So, hopefully along the Smoke Show Sunday videos, I will be able to make a decision. But without further ado, let's get these guys on the smoker. Smoker's still burning nice and clean. Pork belly is starting to get some nice color on it. That coarse pepper is important to form a bark on things. I should have probably trimmed this up so it's a little more aerodynamic and you wouldn't get that puddle of rendered fat in there. But the goal for this thing is to just really slowly break down the fat so that it gets really, really tender. Look at these beautiful patties on there. Those are gonna be super good. All right, I used applewood to get this guy going, and I'm gonna throw some hickory on for the burgers. The fire is holding nice at 250. Smoke. You still can't see the smoke. When I put a new, let's see how it's doing. When I put a new chunk on, you'll see just a little wisp of blue smoke coming out of the stack, and that's what you want. Anything thick that, like when it comes out of the stack and you can just see it travel for a while, that's too much. If it's white, don't ever put meat on a smoker with white smoke coming out. It'll just get covered in soot and be really, really bitter. Okay, so everything's done cooking now. We had our burger smoking for, probably 45 minutes or so. Got these beautiful homemade buns. Toasted them up in some butter. Got some nice thick cut bacon. We sweated down our onions. Got our smoked deviled egg. And I made a little burger sauce here. It's just mayo, ketchup, mustard, and some jalapeno relish. So we'll start assembling the burger and we'll cut into it and see what it looks like. I wanted to leave the American cheese off just because the burger looks so nice, but we'll get it on there to melt down for a minute. We'll start off with our sauce. We'll sauce both sides of the bun because why not? Oh man, made a mess. So normally I eat mostly carnivore, but I guess Sundays I'll sacrifice myself for some viewership. We'll go with the burger. Should have some tongs. Burger. Go with some nice onion on there. And most importantly, got this bacon nice and crispy. It's gonna be a big burger. All right, so the burger's all assembled. Now it's just time to cut in. These deviled eggs, they came out pretty well. I think 2 hours on the smoker's a little bit too much. Next time I'd probably go an hour and a half or so and try that. But they, my wife had to peel them, so I guess it was easy for me. And the smoke did penetrate quite a bit into the shell, which I'm surprised by. So tastes like a deviled egg with a little smoke. All right, let's cut into the burger. All right, that is looking pretty darn good. It's got a nice pink ring around it, the smoke ring. Got the Colby Jack cheese melted in the middle. It's super juicy. onions on top, bacon, American cheese, and burger sauce. All right, the only thing left to do is bite into this thing. It's gonna be messy, but I think it's gonna be really good. I know it's probably rude to eat on camera, but that's a 10 out of 10 burger right there. It's nice and smoky. The cheese on the inside's creamy. Finishing it off with that sear, you get that charred pepper taste. And you can't go wrong with bacon and onions on top. So I appreciate y'all watching the Sunday Smoke Show. This is the first episode. And the pork belly's still on. That'll be a part of something. But I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, keep farming, keep smoking, and we'll see you later.